Hello everyone, this is the Insert Title Show and I'm your host, Wolf Strife. On this episode I'm going to be talking about Christopher Moore's The Serpent of Venice. This came out in 2014 and is a very interesting slash funny as fuck book. I came across this back in December 2015. I was walking around Barnes & Noble, and I was just kind of walking around, and all of a sudden this blue cover grabbed my attention. I was like, oh, what's this? And when I looked at it, it's a very, very interesting and pretty cover for a book. I mean, it's really cool. It's got the main character, Pocket, who is a fool, and, he's just sitting on a boat, and it's got these gold stars and stuff. It's really, really cool, and the writing is very cool. Like, even the author's name looks pretty cool. And you see this, like, dragon or snake thing in the water. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? And then I look at the side of the book, and it's got blue pages on the outside, which is really freaking cool. And then I open it up, and it's a very, very pretty book. Like all the, I guess like maps and old pictures of the city of Venice, naturally. Yeah, it's a very, very gorgeous book. And I didn't notice until after I bought it for like $7 because it was on sale at Barnes & Noble. Yeah, if you want to get hardcovers for cheap, definitely go eyeball some books over at Barnes & Noble. I mean, they really have some great deals once in a while. But yeah, when I started to read the book at home, I noticed that it was actually autographed by the author, Christopher Moore. So that was a very pleasant surprise. But the book, aside from being very pretty and very interesting and, intriguing to look at, is actually a pretty damn good book. The author kind of mixes characters from Othello and The Merchant of Venice, so, William Shakespeare plays and characters, with his story of Pocket, who's a fool on I guess he was on a mission in Venice, who is betrayed and left for dead in the city. So I'm not going to go too much into detail just because it's very interesting and very complicated, some parts of it anyway. But needless to say, you have never read anything like this book. I mean, it's very funny. I mean, just absolutely hilarious. Very irreverent and just crazy. But some of that actually kind of, I think, well, I don't want to say the humor gets in the way of the story, but it definitely makes it more confusing. Like, I'll be reading along and then I'll chuckle and then I'll be like, wait a minute, what's even going on here? Like, what? And it doesn't help, a lot of the characters in the book have similar sounding names, which is obviously a nod to William Shakespeare's plays, because a lot of these characters are actually from those plays. Like Othello shows up, Desdemona, Iago, Shylock, a lot of these famous William Shakespeare characters. And that's really cool, because I'm a big Shakespeare fan, naturally, along with the world. But, it gets kind of confusing because of the humor and stuff. Like, I'll be reading and just be like, well, maybe I'm just not getting it. Like, a quarter of the time, I was just confused, like, what the fuck's going on, huh? So I was like, man, maybe I'm just dumb. But one of the channels I subscribe to, The Perks of Reading, she did a book review of this book, too, and she said it was kind of confusing to her, too. So, yay, I'm not a retard. But, it's a very good book, nonetheless. Very, very, very funny. Like, I almost wish this was a TV show or a movie just to kind of see if the humor would work a little bit better. But, it's a funny book, and it's really, really interesting. And like I said, it's a gorgeous book. Christopher Moore has done a couple of other books I want to check out. Well, actually, The Serpent of Venice is a sequel to his first book featuring the main character Pocket. The first book was called Fool, and I definitely want to check that out too. But as far as this one goes, it's really cool. And it takes place in, I think it was 12th century or 13th century Venice. So the setting was kind of interesting. So yeah, I think if you're interested in funny books and kind of Renaissance-y Venice, I would definitely recommend this to you.